Hello guys, Brandon Carey here, and today we are coming with you with one of my favorite games from my childhood. In case you guys didn't know, I was a PlayStation guy growing up. I played a lot of those of platformers on that console. I played Crash, I played Spyro, but more relevant to today, I played an old school PS1 game known as MediEvil. Or I think it's called MediEvil. Try this. You'll know it as the game that when you put it in Google, it'll autocorrect to MediEvil, as in medieval times. But this is a game that I've written about prior, and a game that I really adore, and I'll be playing it as my new Sunday game, but since today is one day away from Halloween, I figured why not get an early start on that series. So without further ado, let's play some MediEvil. That is a gorgeous art. That is beautiful. I'm looking forward to this game. This game's gonna be so good.
In a time long ago, there lived in the kingdom of Gallowmere a sorcerer named Xerox. This arrogant, pitiless man hated his fellow citizens for their simple and peaceful
I love
ways.
this intro.
So he raised an army of demons and set out to take the realm for his own. The king's champion, Sir Daniel Fortesque, led the militia in the battle against this unholy horde. Songs are still sung of how he spearheaded the charge deep into the accursed multitude, how demons fell before him like wheat before the scythe, and how at last, though mortally wounded, he destroyed the sorcerer utterly. Fortesque went down in history that day as the hero of Gallowmere, and a time of peace began, which was to last for 100 years. And then the sorcerer returned.
So that is the quote-unquote official history of Gallowmere. Xerox was the sorcerer, the court magician. He turned evil and created this undead army, and Sir Daniel Fortesque, who was the captain of the guard, bravely defeated him in battle and died as a result of his wounds in that battle. That's the official history, but we'll go into detail about how that isn't exactly the truth. Also, this is that intro was ripped straight from the original game, and so is this cutscene. This is a shot-for-shot recreation of the opening of MediEvil from the PS1 era, and it's looking really good. If I had any complaint about it, it would be that in the transition to the higher resolution, you do lose just a bit of the scary factor. Like, as a child, this game scared the shit out of me. Scared the absolute living daylights out of me. And part of that was due to how kind of stiff and how stiff the animations were, and how they had to use how the graphical style that was because partly due to the PS1 limitations. Meant that they had to obscure a lot of things, and as a child, scenes like this terrify me. Not so much anymore, but I do think something was lost a little, just and there's nothing they could have done about it, because the moment you choose to do this in 4K, you immediately lose the scariness of those old PS1-esque graphics. But for what they had to work with, they did a fantastic job. This is a really, really good recreation. And of the game as a whole. Also, I love this game's soundtrack. This game is really, really epic, in the more literal sense of the grand, sweeping soundtrack. Without falling into kind of the cliches that you kind of see from big movies. It's a lot of really good orchestral work. Yeah, that zombie in the PS1 era was a lot more frightening to me, but these days, I mean, they obviously went for a more kind of, I want to say cartoony, but more stylized look. And again, this is shot for shot from the original game. This introduction, it's like down to some of the sound effects. This is a really, really good recreation. And I did play the demo of this, so like that was the same exact sound effect from the PS1 game. Maybe one day I'll play the PS1 game just to give you an idea, but yeah, here's our plot, is that after being defeated 100 years ago, this evil sorcerer named Zarok has returned to build an undead army and use it to terrify the people of Gallowmere, which is this fictional medieval city. Brought back a lot of the same voice actors for this game too. So we are the resurrected corpse of Sir Daniel Fortesque.
It has risen again, Sir Daniel Fortesque. See? The hero of Gallowmere who fell at the first charge. The fog of war and the shrouds of time conspire to turn the arrow fodder into the saviour of the day. But we knows better. Let it alone. Fate has given it a second chance. A chance to forget the ignoble truth. A chance to defeat Zarok and live up to the legend. We hopes it does well.
So, while Zarok was busy reanimating his zombie army, he also accidentally brought Sir Daniel back from the grave as well. And while in Legends, Sir Daniel was the brave knight who defeated Zarok in the charge.
You must be out of shape after.
The truth is that, as you saw in the cutscene, he died in the very first wave to a volley of arrows that pierced his eye and killed him instantly. So
Some weapon.
because he was the captain of the guard, that's kind of a pox on the state. And for that
During
reason,
your travels through Gallowmere, you will collect.
it was kind of covered up, and he was made into the brave hero who defeated Zarok. And now that he's been resurrected, this is his chance to prove that no, he's not some lowlife who stole the glory from the real heroes. He can be the hero
When you're ready to leave
in death
this
that
you'll
he
find an
failed to
exit at
be
the
in
end
life.
of the hall.
Which, you know, I kind of like the redemption story.
You will find life bottles.
I mean, not quite redemption, because, like, Sir Dan's not really a villainous, or never really a villainous character, but he was just kind of this braggart asshole who had no real skills, but made everyone think that he did. I don't know which button. Okay, R1. R1 is the shield. Okay, let's go.
Track down Zarok.
And so this is basically like Sir Dan's story of proving himself to be a worthy hero. But of course, before we can even think about that, we have to get out of the graveyard. And this is a pretty good introductory level to the game. This was also the demo that they released earlier this month. The short-lived demo was just Dan's Crypt, which is just a place you can walk around in. And the graveyard here. And so you see, as I kill enemies, there's a percentage that goes up on the screen, and we'll talk about that in a bit.
Welcome back to your beloved Gallowmere. The stinking dead have risen up to dance with the lifeless living, and they want to do it over your dead.
So basically I have this regular attack with square, and with circle I can charge to do a super attack, which usually will defeat most enemies in a single hit.
That small light following you around is a wisp. The heroes of the Hall are not supposed to intervene in mortal affairs, but when they...
And I also have these throwing daggers that I rarely ever end up using, but, you know, having a ranged weapon is not the worst thing in the world. And the wisp will automatically lock on to targets and help us, since we don't have an eye, help us aim.
Don't let zombies get you down. 10...
And basically, these green mists, you step into them, you get your health back. And they have a certain amount of health, and once they use up all the health, they will run dry. So, if you get hurt too badly in a level, you'll probably need to, just avoid taking it straight up.
Sometimes it may be useful to view.
I will say that this game, since you have the second analog stick, controls a lot better than it used to. Because in the original MediEvil 1, you only had the D-pad. Because it was a game that was made prior to DualShock. And as you can see, these ruins I've been gathering basically form keys that I can use to unlock the gates that I encounter in my travels. Better than I did in the demo,
Remember,
sure.
nothing remains hidden under the gaze of an angel.
I won't call this a puzzle per se, but this is a kind of a gimmick here in this section of the graveyard where you see those souls are flying towards that cup over here. But yes, the gates that the angel is facing will open, and the gates that it's not facing will close.
The object here is the chalice. Every time you dispatch an enemy with a soul, the chalice fills a little more. Fill the chalice, and then...
So basically this is the Chalice of Souls. In order to prove himself worthy of being a true hero, Sir Dan needs to, in each level, dispatch enough enemies to fill the chalice full of malicious souls. And if he does, he's awarded an audience at the Hall of Heroes, which we were hoping... Something I didn't explain when we were in the crypt earlier is the concept of a life bottle. So, as you'll see, I picked up a bottle in Dan's crypt, which you see the top above my life. And I did another one here. These life bottles, the way they work is that if I lose all of my health for any reason, I can pop one of these life bottles and it will save me, depending on how full the life bottle is. It starts out at 0% full, but obviously fill up as I charge at a fountain. Because with the fountains you get health to your health bar, you can also get health to your health
beyond
bar.
these skull gates, the master of the hilltop mausoleum, the stained glass demon, has possession of the skull key.
So yes, we can't enter this area of the graveyard until after we fought the stained glass demon. Oh, I got an ouchie ouch. So, that's advancement. I don't think we can come back once we go down there. So, let us collect the chalice and secure... actually, first, let's go and get that little pit back. I like this run animation. It's a little goofy, but it works. I do think the FOV is a little too close. I remember the FOV was a little further back in the original game, which hopefully won't be an issue, but I could see later levels where it will be. I wonder what engine this was made on. I have to look into that. But now that we have the chalice, we can just finish the level because that's the big progress here in the game. Is, did you get the chalice? If you did, it won't stop you from progressing, but you can't actually finish the game until you've collected all the chalices. More hits than I would like to. Oh, there's a button here. Makes things simpler. Oh, I missed every single one of you. Now, there is, since this is an old PS1 game, and snake physics just weren't a thing people cared about, and when they did care about them, they were bad, Sir Dan will drown in water basically the moment he dives too far deep. So, we don't want that to happen to us. Although, in later levels, that almost 100% absolutely, definitely will happen to us.
Tread softly. Zarek awaits beyond these gates. The Master meets with the demon from the mausoleum, hatching plots of purest evil. Forgotten nobodies would be wise to make themselves scarce.
All right. But before we go go to the mausoleum, we have to visit the Hall of Heroes.
Welcome to the Hall of Heroes, where the bravest warriors from history spend eternity, feasting, singing, and arm wrestling. If they think you're worthy enough, you may be able to persuade them to give you a new weapon.
Okay, this is new. There wasn't a merchant here.
To pay homage to the heroes, stand in front of their designated statues and await spiritual guidance.
So this is where some of the writing here kind of shows itself off. Also, you'll notice there's a Sir Dan statue here in the Hall of Heroes, but it is transparent because he is eligible to be a hero here, but he has not earned the right yet. Not like the other people here who have statues of themselves. And every time we come to this place, we can talk to one of our hero friends, and they might give us something useful. Oh, that count is new. And in the previous version of this game, they didn't have that count there, which is actually really, really cool. You also notice these stairs are transparent because we can't cross them yet.
Only when you are truly worthy as a hero will you be able to ascend to the higher level of this hall. When you have paid homage to all of the heroes in the lower hall, the ghostly stairs will then become solid.
So yes, basically this is as you progress through the Hall of Heroes, you'll get more and more weapons and items that will be useful in the game. And as I said before, you need all the chalices just to get the ending of the game. So I hope you, if you're playing this game, I hope you do get the chalices, because otherwise you're going to be in a sorry state when you get to the final boss of this game.
Captain Fortesque, it's me, Canny Tim. Does the battle go well? How I wish I could fight at your side again, sir. But hold, you could take my crossbow. It's got rapid fire and you can ricochet the darts off walls to shoot around corners. I used it at the Battle of Gallowmere. After you were slain, I shot Zarek's champion, Lord Kardok. A clean kill through the eye at some 1,000 yards. Not that there's anything clever about shooting someone in the eye, sir. Oh, goodbye, sir.
And now we have a crossbow. So yeah, it's a little joke at Dan's expense, because he did get shot straight through the eye, and that's how he died. Like, yeah, I was a great shot. I shot one of our demon enemies in the eye. Wait. You be a little less, like, proud of that, because I got shot in the eye. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. And with luck, you will end every level with a chalice visit. So let's go to our next destination at Cemetery Hill.
So, even from the shackles of death, my old enemy pursues me. You're too late, Fortesque. Already my army has risen from the grave. You will never leave this necropolis.
I love that Zarok totally buys that Dan is a hero, even though, like, everyone aside from him knows. Either that or, like, in life, Sir Dan really pissed him off.
Some
It's hard to tell.
obstructions can be smashed down with clubs and certain other.
Must have reached a fraction. Almost that hard. Crossbow. As effective as our throwing daggers, although a lot faster. Like, it is mostly sort of like throwing daggers. It's a little more expensive. And the upkeep.
Of great archaeological interest. Destroy the boulder and plunder the valuable treasures.
I kind of miss when those weren't voiced, because I can read faster than she can talk. Oh, that hurt us. That's new. In the original game, those explosions were not harmful to the player. So that's new. That's kind of disappointing. Not really particularly vital, but I want to keep that in mind. here somewhere. Oh, maybe I'm gonna need to come back after I climb the tower. This is the big challenge here. Climbing the top of this. I can. That's what the shield is. The shield is useful here because it can basically soak the damage.
We have failed the master. We give our lives.
And more or less, once you.
The adventurer would be wise to be thorough in.
And once you take care of them, they stop throwing boulders downhill. So now I can come up here and down safely. The moment I enter that location, the level ends. So, I know there is a club around here in this level somewhere. And once I get it, it will be what I can use. To open up that boulder, because you use the club to smash the boulders. You couldn't do this in rate. It was really cool. You can kind of kill or attack the gravestones. Do some hunting. Oh, I see. I think I see what I had to do. I think I had to drop from the upper level. Like that, yeah.
The club is crude but effective.
And so with the club, destroy boulders, which will help us explore this area over here.
Fresh air. We hate these dark old caves and their filthy stench of old witches. A coven of the warty old hags lived here once, unholy fires burning all night while they brewed up unspeakable muck in their cauldrons. They moved on years back, but the smell still makes our eyes sting.
I can. Although I think I do need it to smash.
A guide to covens for witches and witchcraft enthusiasts. A witch's coven would reach the height of its power only when all of their sacred flames were alight. Witches have been known to offer help to the questing adventurer, yet they are a reclusive people and have to be summoned by the aid of mystic charms or talismans. Let it be known that help from a witch is rarely given freely, and the witch will more often than not make a request of the adventurer before any such help is given. If seeking to summon a witch, remember that they are quite territorial. Any...
This is the other thing with the club is that it can be burned. Yeah, I can use that. That can help. Yep. Witch's Talisman is not useful now, but will be later. Of course, the Chalice. With that, we have everything we need here. Let's switch back to the sword. Keep note of this, because... that's just cosmetic. That's a reference to MediEvil 2 that I have as part of the pre-order. But the Witch's Talisman is something that we'll need in order to get through later stages of the game. This is a Metroidvania-esque, not in terms of weapons, because they're mostly getting through the Hall of Heroes. But in that there are certain tools you need from previous levels or from future levels to make it through the ones you're going through. And hopefully, as we proceed, I'll be a bit more explicit about how those operate. As like you saw with the club, and how the club can be used to break through boulders and light torches. Things like that will occur throughout the rest of the game. And I'll hopefully have the presence of mind to call them out, as opposed to just like trust that you are watching here, viewers. Because again, this is a game that I'm very familiar with, because I've played this game. I must play this game like dozens of times as a young man. And
back from the battle so soon? It must think it is a hero by now. But only a true hero is worthy of a place in the Hall of Heroes. See the ghostly statue of your fraudster self? When it has turned solid, a true hero you will be.
So let's see who wants to talk to us now. Okay, it's him again.
Hurrah! I knew it would take more than an army of the evil dead to throw your strides up. I've something that may help you on your quest, Captain. I give it to you freely, though I have no idea what it is.
So in the previous version of the game, you had the option to refuse the boon, but since you can't leave the Hall of Heroes until that boon is given anyway, it's kind of pointless. So this game just kind of shortcuts it, saying you just accept. You just accept all the time. You just say yes. Which honestly is probably for the best, because it's one of those like false choices. You were always going to choose to take the boon. Like, there is never a world in which you're not taking the gold or life bottles or whatever. It's not happening. Now that we've crossed the threshold of the hill, we can advance to the hilltop mausoleum. Because the stained glass demon here has the skeleton key that we need to break out of the graveyard and actually proceed with our quest. And as a child, this level was another one of those that really freaked me the hell out.
You are entering a house of pain. Rumors abound of evil doings in the secret catacombs below this very hall.
And I have to watch out with these imps because they actually steal your weapons. Oh, those fires hurt. A lot of chalice energy. Right off the bat. I'm gonna keep that club there for a sec. More of you, huh? Okay. Die. We can't like let me farm chalice energy from you, so there's only so many of you to go around. So let's switch to the club, because we can actually bash open these here. And acquire the items in the crypts. The gold. I waited till after doing all that to get the club is because getting a new club just restores your club to 100% charge.
Watch out for sticky-fingered imps. These thieves will strip you down to your armored undies. Rumor has it they fence their stolen wares with the merchant gargoyles.
So yeah, you can as the tooltip says, if you do get your weapons stolen, you can just buy them back with money, but you don't want your weapons stolen. Why I'm being a little bit I also love, even as a kid I loved it, and especially now I love the soundtrack for this level. crystal shards. That's useful. You'll see, not just for right now, but in a second we're going to need some new ability here. That chalice is filling up fast, so I'm going to grab that ruin, and you're going to see why I decided to get rid of it. Once you get that, floor collapses completely. Okay, so that is progress. So let's go down here first. I'm gonna have to get used to touchpad now. The club was that powerful. That really did the trick. Huh. Who'd have thought it?
The stained glass demon is the master of the mausoleum. His wretched soul lies preserved inside a frozen glass heart. Shrouded in a veil of darkness beneath the mausoleum, you will find this pre-frozen menace.
So yeah, there's a little tip. The stained glass demon will be our boss for this encounter. Oh wow, this is terrible. Alright, and we're back. Sorry, there's something weird has happened with the stream, and I'm not sure what it was, but it seems to be fine now. But we're still playing MediEvil. I'm here in the stained glass mausoleum still. Now I have the Moon Ruin, and this is more or less the tomb of the stained glass demon. We can't get to them right now.
The would-be phantom longs to play a new tune, but he seems doomed to repeat the same cause of despair over and over.
No need for a life vial because I am topped off. So we are going to take these two rooms and go back into the catacombs. We already used the moon room, or the moon room's over there, so I'm gonna try to use the chaos room right now. this might actually be the real progress. Yeah, I can't do this right now. I have to actually hold off. We're gonna go back and use the moon balloon. Okay, so where's the secondary? Okay. And honestly, primary and secondary is another thing that working in this game probably should have been. So we're not gonna go back, and I'll explain why in a bit. We need to actually do a few things over here first. We're gonna need to move first. That's one. Sheet music. So we're going to open the inventory, and we are going to use sheet music. And now that the Phantom is playing a tune that he actually wants to play, he opens the way to the chalice. Took the time out of our day to help him out. We got awarded with the Chalice of Souls from the Hall of Heroes. So that ends any business we have, except for the Stained Glass Demon. So what we have to do is, this is the Stained Glass Demon's heart. So if we want to fight him, we have to first force him out. And burning his crystal's heart will force him to aggro us. It releases his soul. Now that his soul is released, he will challenge us to a duel. The demon's heart is only vulnerable points. So this is essentially the boss fight. Is wait for him to be vulnerable, and then attack his heart. actually hurt me, so I don't know what that was supposed to do. Oh! Nope. But as a child, in the old PS1 graphics, this boss terrified the living daylight out of me. So that was more because of like what he is perceptually the boss himself. The boss himself is kill him. And you'll note that if I didn't have the crossbow, I'd have to use these throwing knives, which are as powerful, but because they're not rapid fire, I would end up having to take more time. There'd be more phases to the fight. But because I have the crossbow, I was able to reduce the overall time spent on that boss fight. The skull key, we are now able... I guess I should probably use the rest of that fountain first. Okay, because they actually changed things. In the original game, once you defeated the demon, that ended the level. So if you didn't get the chalice before you fought him, tough luck, you're screwed. Here it looks like they've given you the exit optional so that you can, if you want, come back here and do the chalice stuff before moving on. So you don't have to repeat the level if you miss the chalice out, which is a nice little change. It's a good change. But we're done here.
It's the Hall of Heroes shopping mall. Bargain hunters should check out the ground floor. Well-to-do shoppers should check out the upper floor. That's where it's at.
Who is the lucky hero? You are. Let's talk to you.
Ah, Fortesque! What's this I hear about that archcat Zarok still being alive? Thought you killed the fella. Never mind, you old warhorse. Better show him what's what, eh? I expect Johnny's zombies a bit more of a handful than you remember. How are you doing for weapons? Here, take my warhammer.
Yeah!
Smash anything and it won't fall apart like a club. I only ever get to use it cracking walnuts around this place. Nonsense, Fortesque. I won't take no for an answer. Knock a few heads for old Staniel Ironhewer, eh?
This is... Oh! It's gone from their model when they give it to you. That is actually a really cool detail, because that wasn't a detail in the original game. The weapon would still be on their model after they gave it to you, but here it looks like that is not the case, and that's really cool. So the cool thing about the club, or the hammer, is that it performs identically to the club. It's a little slower, but it's great. And it doesn't have a durability. It's just that's the way it is. It's always at full strength. The other key difference is that instead of being able to light up like a torch, it has that. It has that shockwave as its alternate move, which makes it a pretty powerful weapon for pretty much the entire game. There will almost never be a moment where we prefer to use the club over the hammer. Wait, torches aside, it's a straight up upgrade. And now, that we've finished our business, it's time to actually leave the graveyard and start our quest for real. See the hammer's already paying off. Yeah, this is already doing God's work. It's already just doing so much damage. Okay, that was just a single swing. Yeah, now that we have the hammer, we can do it with the club too. With the hammer, we can just kill the undead hands. That does you nothing. We'll just left. I think the hands drop like a coin of gold each piece. Yeah. The fact that those damage are going to get really annoying. Some of them are pretty tough spaces to avoid. Okay, bro. Why isn't that hitting me? I was above him. That's not fair. I'm just gonna be able to just break open these chests. Silver shield. As you can see, it's basically the copper shield, but it has a higher durability. Although, as you also see, I don't make as much use of the shield as I probably should. We're doing pretty good right now. Like, the hammer, I don't want to call it the best weapon in the game, but for how early you get it, it stays relevant throughout most of the adventure. There's rarely a time where that shockwave move isn't useful. And also, do take note that they don't let you go back. This is technically a different level than the graveyard. It's Return to the Graveyard. So they don't let you go back. Only forward. So there is, obviously, this is hard to maneuver, but there's a secret down here that you can take advantage of. But yeah, if you look at the original graveyard's level of structure, It's designed so that you can't actually go back that way if that gate is closed. And because we defeated the Mausoleum Stained Glass Demon, we can open the skull gate and the skull key. And this is a whole different area of the graveyard. This is how we will do it. We are basically never going to be in danger again. Unless I get stupid, which happens. The star ring to open this gate. Frankly, if you don't know what each rune is, it's probably so it's not really that hard to figure out.
Want to be faster on your feet? Want to be able to bash down walls by charging into them? All you have to do is defeat the evil guardians of the graveyard and gain this new ability.
And they're referring to what you can go get at the end of this level. With that. Okay, the chalice is here, but I need more souls to fill it. Why did I ever switch from the hammer? Basically, I think one more kill will do. God. Okay, that was scary. That was so scary. One. We'll get one more kill. That chalice is mine. Gate here? Yes, there is. Now we've got chalice. Ooh. much about drowning as long as I can jump good. Please, God. Oh. There we go. A little bit of jankiness, but I don't remember if that was in the PS1 version of this game or not. Either way, probably not acceptable. Probably could handle that a bit better. Jump, 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 jump. Good. Now it's time for boss 2. Guardians of the Graveyard. This fight was hard back in the day, too. Also note that they have 1 health bar amongst the 2 of them. Okay, I beat them already. The other one is almost dead! There we go. As you can see, when I died, I used a life bottle, but thanks to the fountain here, I can bring it back up to full charge. As long as you have a life bottle to spare, you're basically safe, even if your health points reach 0. But that is the Graveyard Guardians, and when you beat them, you unlock the Daring Dash. You put your shield up. It gives you a dash move. We can use.
All has changed outside the necropolis. Paths go this way, paths go that way. Nasty, painful death waits round every turn and over every hill. Bon voyage.
Now that we defeated the Guardians, we're free to leave the graveyard and proceed with our actual journey. But first, we got a chalice, so another treasure awaits. Four. We got 4 of these bad boys.
Bravo, Fortesque! Some of the other chaps wagered Zarok would be using your ribcage as a toast rack for now, but I knew you'd pull through. Here, I have a little extra something here I can give you. Could help the old quest. You want it?
Money is nice, but not really that useful. Prefer weapons over cash. Maybe I'm just old school that way. Now that we have another chalice down, we can proceed to the next level. Choice to come here to Scarecrow Fields or the Enchanted Earth. Memory serves, the Enchanted Earth doesn't have, we need a certain amount before we can actually finish the Enchanted Earth. So we're going to come to Scarecrow Fields first. Another visual that, as a kid, terrified me. As a kid, these scarecrows scared the shit out of me too.
Unstoppable, so don't be a hero. If you can't beat them, try trapping them while you make your escape. Using your new daring dash ability should help you get ahead.
It was... pretty piss poor with these scarecrows. But I think I'm starting to get the hang of it because you gotta remember the controls of this game, more or less. Oh, okay. Another one? Frankly, it's only finding them out of you because they wouldn't let me just farm souls. Oh.
Beware of mischief makers and metal machines. Who knows what dark sorcery brings their metal limbs to life?
Top off and fill out some bottles. Burn these haystacks. Fire for that though. Having enough damage with this if I can get a second heal popped off. I get 40% for the chalice too, which is not bad since we're just starting this level. You probably noticed by now that the levels in this game do tend to be fairly short, though. This level's supposed to kind of mostly test you on how good you are at daring dash. And platforming in general, more or less. Scarecrows. Die, please. Thank you. Oh, 2. That's what I wanted. Scarecrows are irritating. Maybe this is why this didn't even kid, because they were so freaking hard to kill. So we'll probably end up using the entirety of this fountain. Sucks, but it could be a lot worse. Yeah, I think fountains out an average about 600 life. Those fights are actually a lot easier than they look. You just gotta know what to do. So there is a secret to the wheat fields in this level. It's not entirely clear what's in there, but whatever it is, it'll absolutely kill me if I am ever in the fields for too long. So sick of wasting time on these guys.
Death waits in the cornfield. Pick your route carefully and do not linger in the corn.
Yeah, this is what I just said. You'll notice that the dragon is not hurting me. It is a friendly spirit. Well, friendly in this game. But they're still hostiles.
The corn-cutting machine is missing a part. A cog fell off.
trick here will be in acquiring the chalice. That's not what I was intending to do, but that's ooh, I need some dire straits already. Okay, I think there's not much more to do. See a unique cog. So the trick is that the chalice, although I can collect it, doing so would absolutely kill me because of these creatures hiding in the cornfield. $100% will kill me. So, oh, hey Steve. So I need to get the cog for the wheat cutting machine in the barn, so that I can activate it, collect the chalice. I'm doing well. And yes, I am 6'1" in real life. I am a pretty tall boy. I remember I was going on this level with the run back. Yeah, that's where the cog is. Now you gotta run back. Good question, because I can't. It's out of bounds. Sir Daniel is not strong enough to understand to do a chin up. He has no muscles, and therefore cannot do a chin up. This is really fun. Okay, so. There we go. We're going to do... Oh, no. Running past you is immediately. Not interested. You understand, Steve, that Sir Dan here is all skin and bones. Now the way has been conveniently cut, chalice here. Now we have a new life bottle as well. And there's obviously a fountain here if you needed more health. At least, in fairness to the game, they do acknowledge that the way back is kind of painful and give you a bunch of health there so that you're not completely bummed. We're going to break past you. I don't need to go anything else. I have my chance. Oh, please don't come back to me. Surprisingly not the easiest to use. Here. I do like the dynamic fighting here. That's pretty cool. We took some damage, but more importantly, we're out.
Pumpkin Gorge, dead ahead. The nursery to Gallomere's favorite side dish. Step inside and understand the true horror of fruit gone bad.
We have a chalice too, which means another trip to the Hall of Heroes. The true horror of fruit, Steve. Yes, the true horror of fruit. Let's see who wants to see us this time. Okay. Let's talk to you.
Fortesque, you jawless arrow magnet. What are you doing back here? What? Call me Mr. Woden the Mighty. How I pity the people of Gallowmere, that their fate should once again be in the hands of a chump like you. Still, I suppose it's not fair to take it out on them. Take my sword, and do try not to stab yourself in the foot. You know, I've always had my doubts about you, Fortesque. You're just not carved from hero material.
I do like how antagonistic the Hall of Heroes are to Serdan because they know that he's a giant fraud. But the people don't. So you weren't here for my earlier spiel. The whole premise of MediEvil is that we are playing as a knight who in life was thought of as a gallant hero, but in truth was an ignoble coward. And now that the evil sorcerer he fought back in the day has come back to life, he accidentally revives Serdan, and Serdan is like, well, if I'm coming back to life, I might as well try to redeem myself for my ignoble, horrible cowardice. And so now that he's come back to life, this is kind of his second chance to prove that he is, in fact, the hero that he deserves to be known as. Or he is known as. If he can live up to the legend of himself, more or less. Which is, I think, a really cool story. In my humble opinion. So, like, in Gallowmere, which is the place that we're at right now. Serdan was the captain of the knights. chalice already. Fortunately, I don't have enough souls to collect it, so I'll have to come back. Hammer time! Give me those souls of the chalice. Lucy, righty tighty. Now we've got this room. Welcome back. So, to recap the story, Sir Daniel Fortesque of Gallowmere was the captain of the city guard. But he wasn't actually a skilled fighter. In fact, he was kind of a lazy braggart, and the position was mostly an honorary one. But when the court's magician Zarok turned evil, it was up to him to lead the charge, and he did. Except, while the tale says he valiantly fought and killed Zarok, the truth is that he died in the very first volley of arrows. And because he was still captain of the guard and the king's kind of like personal pet, the legend was revised so that he was the great hero. Whereas the actual heroes didn't get credits, but they did get their eternal life in the Hall of Heroes. So now, fast forward 100 years, Zarok the Sorcerer has returned from the dead, and in his haste to revive his undead army, he accidentally revives Sir Dan. And this is Sir Dan's second chance to be the hero in death he failed to be in life. It's a nice little twist on the hero story. mean, the Hall of Heroes it's basically Valhalla. It's reserved for people who have proven their heroism in battle. This was originally for the PlayStation 1, but this remake is now available on the PS3. This was Sony owns this property. It is exclusive to them.
Up and down these magical mushrooms go. They will take you high.
They actually remade it, and it came out last week in time for Halloween. And this is one of my favorite games growing up as a kid. It scared the shit out of me, but I loved it. I decided to play it again, and this is only the first episode. We will probably play this whole game eventually, although obviously not right now because I only got 10 minutes left of this stream. But we will eventually play through the entire game. I'll probably continue this on Sunday. Alright, so I can instead play Magic since it's Halloween, it's spooky time. I figured this might be a good thing to play instead. In case you were confused as to why I'm running around in circles, Sir Dan is not a particularly enduring hero. He can't take that many hits before dying, so it is prudent to not take too much damage when you can avoid it. I gave your friend some tips. I don't know if he's put them into practice yet, but I did look over his deck and see what I thought could be a potential problem area, or maybe more, but we'll work at it a little bit at a time. His big weakness was a lack of answers or preventative spells that he's in need of answers. Problem. Finally, my shield's repaired. While, so let's go down into the house. Oh right, hammer off, snatch his boulder. Oh, it just kicks us back down. That's a bit lame. But oh well. I guess we'll probably need those souls for the chalice. I remember the chalice in this one being particularly vexing to acquire because the number of souls is kind of small for each pumpkin. So those chalices are symbols of the Hall of Heroes, and if you fill a chalice up 100%, then and collect it, it allows you an audience. I have plenty of health, but I don't want to overtax my resources if I don't have to. Alright, this door is closed. Let's open both paths. I see. Oh, damn it, I didn't want to pick that up. Oh well. Hopefully this one's going to better than the PS1 version did. Oh no, this is the exit. I don't want to go there. Fuck that. You got chalice to collect. There we go. Give me souls, pumpkins. Souls. There we go. Now we can collect the chalice. Jumps in this game are always kind of precarious because you do die and you do drown instantly if you land in the water, so it's always scary when you have to make any jump, even one that's relatively minor. Go. Now if I go down here, chalice should be here. Perfect. And now we can go to the Hall of Heroes. And that'll be a good way to end the stream, is with one more trip to the Hall of Heroes and one more item in our pockets. Hell yeah, find the chalice. Get the food enigma. Oh wait, there's a fountain there, right? Yeah, let's help. You do want that, because health is a kind of precious resource in this game. I will say that, again, the fact that, that I have a analog stick is great, because in the original PS1 version, this was controlled entirely through the D-pad, and there was, you had to use the analog, or the L1, R1 buttons to move the camera, and that sucked. But having the right analog stick do the camera in this game is a very, very welcome change.
All bow down before the master of the vegetable patch, the prize-winning plant who can summon an army of cabbage with a wave of his noble tendril. He's delicious, he's nutritious, he's Zarok's secret recipe. He's the Pumpkin King.
Yep. That'll be an opponent for the next stream. First, let's explore the Hall of Heroes and get some new gear, hopefully.
Gaining allies in the Hall of the Heroes is the way forward. Hack, choppity chop, off with a few zombies' heads, and it thinks it can redeem itself in battle. You still have a long way to go to rank as the best.
Let's see what hero wants to listen to me talk today. Oh! It's you again. And again, the detail of the swords, actually, the weapons actually leave them when I take them. That's a great little detail. I appreciate that.
By God, Fortesque, you must be the luckiest corpse ever to walk the face of the earth. I have something here I can lend to you. Take it or leave it, but remember, I'm only doing this for the sake of Gallowmere's doomed population, and not for you, you gangly buffoon!
I guess money's nice, but a new weapon would have been nicer. I am always bummed when like heroes just give you cash, because cash is probably the most, or probably the least useful object in this game. All you can really do with it is refill ammunition. But I guess it's better than nothing. that, we will end the stream because it's approaching the 2-hour mark. And I must say, it has been very, very nice to get back into this game. I have always loved this game growing up. MediEvil is one of my favorite PS1 games. No one else likes it as much as I do. So this is a very good nostalgic blast from the past.